Hi everyone, Mick back, this time with another episode of July Manifests, and let's get underway with something super close to home. Here we have The Scientist and the definitive article. This was recorded live in Brisbane in November 2017. And yes, I was actually at the concert. This is the Australian proto-garage, proto-grunge, definitely swamp live. They say it's a definitive article. It certainly does have all the hits, which are hard to go past. Lineup is Kim Salmon, Tony Fuels, Boro Sujovic, and Leanne Cowie on drums. It's on in the red, but gee, how boring are those inner sleeves, huh? Anyway, love to have a live album where I'm actually in the audience. There's no hearing me or something. Just standard little bit of crowd noise, but great article. The definitive one, allegedly. Here we go, Hungry Ghosts, and this was a cult 90s band out of Melbourne. This is its first time on vinyl, and it is a double album. There we go, custom labels there on the Imminent vinyl label, produced by Roland S. Howard, and I guess as a reference point for those who like the Dirty Three, it's that type of music, but they're not quite that derivative. It's probably a little bit of an unfair example. Artful, tuneful, the sound of a noisy and tense Australia. Speaking of noisy Australias, does it get any more noisier than the Rosie Tats? Here we are, music on vinyl, digitally sourced, but sounding pure, certainly better than the original. I Have All This. The big songs you know will be Rock and Roll Outlaw, Bad Boy for Love, Astra Wally, Ian Ryland, him X is on some of these tracks, and certainly a classic Australian album, and something that you probably, if you like Australian rock and you like Australian loud rock, maybe punk rock, I always saw them more as blues boogie, you'd want to get. And what you do get is one hell of a picture on the inner. Some folk are down on music on vinyl. I'm not. I'm completely all in on them. They're not AAA. There is some sort of digital in the step, but they sound pure and clean. And if you've got a half decent stereo, certainly something you'd want to have. Okay, keeping on music on vinyl, this time Zeke. This album was originally released on Epitaph. No super fancy gatefold on this, but you do get that pure sound. This is a punk and roll classic, and saw Zeke a couple of times last year. Great rock band. If you like your punk and roll, you know what we're on about. Now, while we're talking of classic bands and punk and roll, this is punk and metal. This is Danzig, the 1998 album, so Danzig 1, that's been reissued. I'm a Misfits lover, so pleased to have this in this form. This album goes for, well, not seriously crazy money, but a couple of $100. Happy to have it for that price. Came with a bit of a hype sticker as well, but for a gatefold, you sometimes got to break the hype sticker. Oh, and there we go. Some nice fancy white vinyl, and you can see it's on American recordings. The second in the series, no fancy gatefold now, but you do get an inner. They've released all 4 of these albums. The first 2 I actually like as rock albums. They're probably close to metal, and the metal I don't like. I've got to seriously consider if I can make it through to 3 and 4 in the series. My motto is, if I don't like it, don't buy it. I'd be just buying them to have. So I think eventually, once these things disappear, when they do sell out, they mightn't be around again. So I've really got to be certain if I choose not to pick up the other 2. One for your kraut rockers, Embryo's Rush. This is one of those albums that is considered an essential of the genre. Originals go for a couple of $100. Certainly an album that I'd love to find an original of. At this stage, I'm probably just keeping my krautrock originals to my top 20 favourite albums, and the rest more than happy to have a reissue. This is clean, and you get to hear everything in reasonable order. Check out those guys. Just friends having fun, huh? The crazy world of the 70s underground. On Bonfire Records, which something I haven't heard before, but reasonable reissue. The next one we have is a little bit of No Wave, and it's Circle X. And this one's prehistory. It's only 6 tracks, but what you do get here is prime No Wave, and I'm a No Wave aficionado, and this is as crazy as it gets. Guitars, tapes, vocals. You know what to expect from No Wave. So surprised Drag City reissued that. Not that it's a bad album, just that Drag City made that as a choice. Anyway, if you're into No Wave, and I certainly am in a reasonable way, something to consider. Dylan. I'm not all in on Dylan, but I'm in on Dylan enough to at least be able to justify to buy one album a year, which is sort of how I try to keep up with what he's up to. This is the classic 1990s MTV set. A couple of my friends had this on CD. Does feature Tombstone Blues, All Along the Watchtower, Desolation Row, Rainy Day Woman. Certainly a way of Dylan introducing himself to the 90s. Columbia tried to reproduce the labels semi-effectively. Okay, I'm all in on punk and new wave from the late 70s to the early 80s. Some people call it gutter punk. I call it K by D, KBD, Killed by Death, Bloodstains, all those sort of words. Here we have a new entry in the comp series. I mainly got this because I have close to a cube full of these type of compilations, and I didn't have most of these tracks, so they have tried to branch out to some a little bit more obscure faves. Favourite here would be the Hugh Beaumont Experience. Where'd You Go, Sid? If you like your punk and new wave, a bit grungy and a bit crazy, great comp. Probably not official. Okay, into the new bands. Well, here we have a band from Leeds called Gutter Snipe. This is guitar, synth, drums, and it's real outside of the standard rock sphere. Gutter Snipe certainly feature from a Leeds folk band, and they've reinvented themselves with this brand of Outer Limits rock. Speaking of rock, how about some noisy rock? This is the band Prostitute, and this is their album called Attempted Murder on Mute Records. There's some kind of protest in this. This is ultimately, if you like noise punk, this is a bit of a must-get album. It does come on red vinyls with the inevitable custom label. Next one, the return of Vinnie Riley and the Duretti column. I've been following Vinnie since the late 80s. This is Vinnie probably progressing to where we all thought he would. This album, lots of reverb, there is vocals on it, some drum machines. Does sound pretty typical Vinnie, but it's good to see where he's ended up. One of those ones where the hype sticker, because it's a factory number on there, even though this is on London Records, who factory was sold to, feel the urge to keep it on. In a modern touch, we have the yellow vinyl matching the cover and the purple label. Okay, new music, and the Leaf Library After the Rain, Strange Seeds, certainly piqued my interest. The hype sticker says if it was released in the 90s, it would be a classic, and 100% correct. If you like your 90s indie rock, and I don't need a lot of that these days, but I do like to keep abreast of the classics of the scene, and I feel this is one of them. There's cello, so it's adventuring out a little bit, and comes on some swanky yellow vinyl. Okay, what you've been listening to in the background while we've been talking about those albums has been this, Shabaka Hutchings. Bit of a spiritual jazz classic here from Shabaka. You can hear the drums in the background there. Things get quite rhythmic. It's certainly fresh. If it was released in the 60s, it'd be worth $1,000. It's electroacoustic world, but it is certainly taking jazz to the adult, and that's Shabaka is in fine form. I know I talked about these every manifests, but here we are. Yep, you've got it again. Another tone poet. This time it's Fred Jackson. All the usual tone poet trimmings. Gatefold sleeve. Kevin Gray mastering. It's a bit of a hard bop album. An album I wouldn't probably pay the big money for an original for, or be able to afford a reasonably clean copy, because I'm on the Blue Note journey, a must get for me. And finally, we have more Kevin Gray inspired jazz. And this is the Jazz Dispensary series, and it's The Visitors, and it's by Earl and Carl Grubbs. Features Jono Bonner on piano. Fantastic album is On Angel Eyes. Spiritual jazz, a real modal sound. Originals of this aren't out of this world, but I doubt that they would sound this fine. Kevin Gray does all his usual magic. And there we go, on the Muse label. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. That was July Manifest. Talk soon.